Good? No. Great afternoon, everybody. It's Mark, Old Ops Guy Halpern, along with the one and only my PIC, Danny Vice President, Danny Boy Reginald. We are here. The Knicks now 2 games to none. Now I know Dan's and my predictions were it's possible the Cleveland Cavaliers could take 1 game. It was a prediction. Good. And nobody can say in here our hearts weren't worried about it in game 1. However, Knicks fought back, and we're going to get all into that because usually this is a Tuesday show, but we're in the ECF, baby. We got to give you reports as we go along. Dan, 2-0. How you feeling?
Bro, it's on. I think we're getting to a point, Mark, where even if it's just for like another day or so, we can still dream of the NBA finals.
I mean, I might be the old ops guy, but not even the old ops guy was alive when the Knicks were in the finals. The old ops guy wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
So I've
Well,
been in the playoffs.
here's the difference though. I don't remember the last time Knicks were in the finals. You've at least seen the Knicks in the NBA finals.
This, this is very true against San Antonio. I was actually out in Vegas for that one.
Yeah.
So I definitely, yes, I have seen him in the finals. However, we are sitting here against the Cavaliers when it was looking that it could have been the Pistons.
Yeah.
Cleveland put in great heart, fought hard, got to where they were not because they don't deserve to be.
Yeah.
Let's face it, they were a wild card coming in. Donovan Mitchell, top five top NBA player.
Yeah.
This team defensively and offensively works very well together. So of course it's a little bit of need for concern. But then you watch that first game, Dan. And here we go. We're gonna go right into the first game that took us into an overtime that we couldn't believe that we even got to. So in the game 1, the Knicks end up winning 115 to 104 in overtime. And from the get-go in the first quarter, Dan, even you and I were back and forth, sloppy play, and not just by the Knicks, by both sides. It was just everybody was wild.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that first quarter definitely wasn't necessarily great by both teams. I know the Knicks ended up, you know, playing well towards the end of the quarter, but it was sloppy. And the Knicks rust for the first 3 quarters were showing.
You
It was
got it.
very hard to ignore the fact that they looked like a team that hadn't played in nearly 2 weeks.
And,
Um, but like you said, the Cavs didn't really start getting things going until that second quarter. So yeah, it was a back and forth first frame for
yep.
the Knicks and Cavs.
So to lay it out for you, the Knicks won 23-16 in the first quarter, 23-32 in the second quarter, and 23-35 in the third quarter. They're basically saying, Michael Jordan, can you just come in here and give us a cheer? That number 23. Jordan wants this for the Knicks. I mean, you
Right.
know it. Jordan is there secretly hoping for Patrick's Knicks, good pal and friends team to go on. But then it wasn't the fact that the Knicks were losing. When the garden starts to walk out on you,
Mhm.
that's a statement. In other ways around the world, if you're losing and it's close to the end of the game, or even you got a quarter and a little bit left, and your hometown fans are leaving, these are the fans who are there only because it's the finals. These aren't your true fans. No offense to anybody who left because I don't need to get shot. Um, The ones who stayed are your die-hard fans, and also the guy who paid $63,500 for one seat. I'd like to meet and shake your hand. Um, and saw the most amazing comeback
Yeah.
in the Eastern Conference Finals that I have ever seen in my lifetime. Um, the Knicks went on a turnaround. Everybody woke up. Not just one, not just Brunson. Everybody
Yeah.
tuned in. Anybody who could get a hand on the ball got their hand on the ball. And in those final seconds, when that ball dropped in, Dan, I almost passed out. I was, oh my God. And we go to overtime. And what happens in overtime? There's something about overtime that has favored the Knicks very, very much. And it's the term conditioning. The Knicks have been playing overtime a lot this year. Forget about the fact that they have won the last 8 games straight.
Yeah.
They've played a lot of overtime. The Knicks know what it means. They can't afford to have players strung out. So what happens? The Knicks take what's left of the garden inside and show it what it's like. 14-3, the Knicks win game one, 115 to 104. A hard fought game by both sides. Donovan Mitchell with the game high for Cleveland, and then obviously the 38 by Brunson. Enough said, as your highs. Here's the thing I take away from that game that was horrible. And it's the one stat that's going to stand out. You're 10 for 32 in 3-point range. Stop. I understand this team, when hot, can drain threes any day of the week. But Anobi, 1 for 6. Towns, 1 for 5. I mean, Towns shooting 5 is enough already. Hart, 1 for 5. Bridges, at least, was 2 for 4. Brunson, 1 for 5. The only one who technically should be shooting threes is Landry Schmidt in that first game because he was 3 for 3. Thank you, Landry, for that fourth quarter. Thank you so much. The Knicks have to know when to stop shooting the three, Dan, and that's actually been a thing we've talked about several times.
They were 4 for 23 in the first three quarters from 3-point range. It was brutal to watch. And when you're not making your shots and the Cavs are just having their way against you and not necessarily giving up, but you can tell the body language of the Knicks to start that fourth quarter wasn't on par. Like they looked like a team, like I said, they looked like a team that hadn't played in 2 weeks. The Cavs were all over them. We're talking about Spider Mitchell. He had 29 points, cooking them across the board. Um, like it was rough to watch. Not only Donovan Mitchell, but Max Strus.
Yeah,
He coming off the bench doing his thing. Sam Merrill also, was doing his thing too.
agreed.
Like it was rough to watch this Knicks team through the first three quarters. Um, and look, I get it. Look, the Cavs are a very tough team. This is a good Cavs team. Like,
Yes,
do not allow these two games that we just saw here. We'll get to game two in a second. Don't don't allow these two games to influence you. There's a good team here. What changed was when they're down 22, 7:45 left in the quarter. James Harden had missed a free throw, whatever it was. Um, what changed was the quick 5 points by Jalen Brunson and Landry Shamet that really sparked something because the Knicks had no business coming back and winning this game. But Jalen Brunson along with Landry Shamet, and then of course Mikal Bridges too. Let's not forget him. He has been incredible these
In the
playoffs.
playoffs, yes.
He has been incredible. Those three, in particular Brunson, started to dictate the terms of this game. Brunson going up against James Harden, who we've all seen James Harden throughout his entire career. He is one of the worst defenders I've ever seen in my life. The fact that Jalen Brunson had his way against James Harden and just continued to absolutely smoke his ass, sparking that 18-1 run that helped get them back into the game. Mark, and it was a master class of coaching by Mike Brown to realize the Cavs wanted the game to be done
Yep.
by the 7 minute mark. They're like, we have this big lead, it's over. And then, of course, comes Brunson coming back in. They were saying that Donovan Mitchell had an ankle thing. I'm not buying this idea he can't play on it. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
I understand.
demand the ball, bro.
I understand you have to be truthful and declare all injuries or whatnot before a game.
Yeah.
But when it's a star player, they like to overhype it
Yeah.
more than it is. So you're thinking, oh, we're going to downgrade our play.
No.
Just don't fall for that crap.
Demand the ball, bro. And what in the world was Kenny Atkinson doing, bro? Kenny Atkinson, one of the highly regarded coaches in the NBA. He's an NBA champion as an assistant coach, obviously. Did very well with the Nets back in the day before
Yeah.
KD and Kyrie chased him out of town.
Hmm.
Um, like, what was Kenny Atkinson thinking? One, continuing to allow James Harden to face Brunson one-on-one, but also not calling a timeout. He had four timeouts, didn't call a timeout, like maybe until like late in the quarter. But you have to understand, you have timeouts to lose. You're gonna
Hmm.
lose two of them, bro. You see the
And
Knicks start to come back. Call a timeout. Be like, hey, let's change it up. Let's draw a play. I don't care if Spider's hurt. See if you can draw a play and see if you can get a quick bucket.
absolutely.
Couldn't
And
even
this
do
is
that.
this is what not only Dan just pointed out, me and my neighbors were speaking about this. Why didn't they stop the ball? I mean, not just like stop the ball, get defense. Take a breather. Okay? This is not your everyday game. This is the step before glory.
You know,
And Dan's right. What? I mean, between Mike Brown, I swear I thought Mike Brown was going to pull his hip out with jumping so high as he did. I
yeah,
really did. I thought he was going to get injured himself. But I don't know what Atkinson was going to. I think, a quick compare, I think Atkinson was kind of frozen like the Russian coach in the Miracle on Ice. It's like, I don't know what to do. It's happening again.
do I pull the goalie? Do I not pull the
It's,
goalie? Like,
it's like there's moments of bad coaching, and then
yeah,
what happens happens. A just a quick shout out. I don't like always knocking everybody. If one person does deserve a little bit of it, Evan Mobley had a nice game.
yeah, and
Um,
yeah, and,
had
and
a nice game. He is definitely. I don't know what his contract is or anything, but if he's got 1 or 2 years back or whatever, he's a real upcomer in the NBA. He's gonna be even better.
yeah,
He's just been a solid player.
yeah,
But the Knicks are not only happy with winning one game.
yeah,
We have to win more than one because there's more than one game to play. So we go on to game two, which anybody will tell you if you look at the history of Eastern Conference Finals, especially teams matched up as well as this, splitting the first home opener is not unheard of. Even Dan and I would understand it. However, that wasn't the case as the Knicks took the game 109 to 93. In that first quarter, yet again, the Knicks played hard, but Cleveland just was like that gnat flying in, and just not going away. 27-24 in that first quarter, Dan. And that set, you know, the garden aflame. When you get that garden behind you, what happens? The Knicks wake up. 29-22 and then 32-21. The third quarter obviously being the quarter that really
Mhm.
differentiated. However, it was the third quarter that differentiated the Cavs, but Mike Brown knows what this is, and he didn't play loose. He let his players play. And how do we look at this? We take a look at the stats. And you look at the players who got the most time. Let's forget about Brunson here. Mikal Bridges, 19 minutes. I'm sorry, 40 minutes, 19 points.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 for 1 on the three pointers. Contributed great on the rebounds and assists. By the way, Jalen Brunson, 14 assists. Let's not leave that out before I do. Josh Hart. I can't say enough about the man.
Yeah.
I loved his comment. I don't know if any of you watched it on MSG after the game, as he was asked, what was it like sitting there on the bench in OT? He said, it was killing me. Absolutely killing me. I wanted to be in there, but he said, there are other guys who were doing better than me. Guys were doing, yeah. He didn't make excuses.
Mhm.
He accepts his role, whether it's 5 minutes or it's 45 minutes. And if it's 5 minutes, you can guarantee he'll have 1.3 assists, 4 rebounds, and most likely a personal foul. That's how indebted Josh Hart is. 10 for 21, 5 from 11 from 3-point range,
Mhm.
4 rebounds, 7 assists, only 1 turnover, 2 steals, and 26 points. Your MVP for game two, Josh Hart.
And of course, like you said, Josh Hart didn't start the game off well, but the recovery he had, especially in that second half, where he's knocking down shot after shot, 5 3-pointers, obviously,
Yep.
um, you know, bunch of assists, rebounds, 3 defensive rebounds that, really started that, again, really contributed, I should say, to the Knicks' very easy, simple victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers in game two. He's such a workhorse. I love Josh Hart. He is exceptional as a player, and it's great that look. Doesn't matter which night it is. There's always someone that could beat you, and game two was Josh Hart. Um, no, a terrific victory, and of course, don't like Mark said, don't discount how Mikal Bridges did. He was tremendous.
Mhm.
Jalen Brunson did a nice job as well. Again, you don't have to score 30 points, but he had 14 assists.
Right.
Massive, absolutely massive. Cat had a double double, and you didn't really need the bench play because the Cavs they had absolutely nobody other than Donovan Mitchell
Right.
coming in and scoring points for them.
Yeah.
So um, ever since that the 7:45 mark in
Hmm.
the fourth quarter and Knicks down 22, they have outscored the Cavaliers 153 to 104.
And just hear that number and look at it. It's forget about the 100. Just wipe that off. You can
You know,
see the gap. You can see the gap.
like
It's a
it
49-point gap.
it's not even close, Mark. And
Right.
look, the Cavs are going to get one. And the series, by the way, is not over. I don't care
No.
what anyone says.
No.
Like, I need to see the Knicks four to the Cavs, whatever, for
Hmm.
me to say series done.
Right.
It's a stark contrast, and it looks like a deflated team. When they had a lead in the fourth quarter, they blow it. And then again, they they were competitive somewhat in the first half, but non-competitive in the second half. Like you can tell it's a team that's deflated, that has no answer.
One thing I want to point out, and Dan pointed it out earlier when he said, you didn't really need the bench considering what was going on, and he's right. But when you take a look at it and you look at the Cleveland bench, four names come out because it's the only four names they really use, and it's been the same way over the season. That's Schroeder, Struss, Merrill, and Tyson. Between the four of them, they amass 17 points through the entire game. If your bench cannot at least compete with the other side's bench, at least 90% wise, why are they even playing? I'd rather just throw my other guys out there for 50 minutes if I had to.
Yeah,
This was PP play
exactly.
on the Cavaliers bench. Now, I'm gonna make my only dig, and this has been a dig because I want this guy to friggin' explode. Can Deuce McBride wake up? The guy has come in twice. Oh, well, he's come in twice. It's only been two games, you know, uh, and he is one for the world in 3 point range. He
Yeah.
contributes with assists and rebounds in other ways. It's not that he doesn't contribute. I mean, the block by Alvarado, whatever. I have never seen the stadium get behind a bench player like Deuce McBride when he is on that stadium, besides just yelling Deuce, is beyond electric because there are signs of him that make you look like Jalen Brunson a little bit. The
Mhm.
way he passes, not the way he shoots, let's be honest, but his dribble, his pass play, his aggressiveness is a great sight for the Knicks to have.
Yeah.
So that's my dig on the Knicks. I do want to make a comment. The Knicks haven't lost a game since the end of the Atlanta series. So
Yeah.
let's just make a note of that. And anybody who wants to say anything, bring it. Anytime, any place, anywhere. I do want to jump over quickly to what's going on in the other side of the world here because there are two competitions going on, except with a different current contrast. Right now, the Oklahoma Thunder, whatever you want to call these teams these days, and the good old San Antonio Spurs, which scares me more than anything, are series tied 1-1. Dan, let me tell you, if there's any two teams in the Western Conference Final that we called from almost day one, we're right. We knew who was going to be here.
Yeah. Two
Wemby,
nail-biting games, though.
unbelievable.
I just wanted to
Un-
make that point real quick.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. One versus
Unbelievable.
two.
I mean,
One versus two.
this is going to go seven.
Yeah.
Anybody, if it doesn't, then there's something very wrong. But game one, when was the last time you saw a 7'1" guy take a Stephen Curry 3-pointer and knock it down like it was every day? He shot it, he looked at it, he turned around, and he just stuck up the arms. I've never seen a big guy even Manute Bol couldn't shoot that good, and he was just about as tall as Wemby, or Wemby's just as tall as he was. I think Manute Bol was a little bit taller, but is do we? I don't. Nobody wants to do it because we all did it with Zion. We all said Zion was going to be better than LeBron, and we all, hello, I was there. I was one of the guys until Mark Capola ruined it for not making the Knicks get the number one pick because Mark Capola was in the room. Yes, I'm dissing you. Um, and Zion, has never really amassed the attention he should. I don't want to do that to the guy on another team. I don't even want to call him out on it. We don't have to. We know who it is. Dan, are we looking at the next generational player?
And Wembanyama, 100%. Not the greatest game too. He was great, but of course the Thunder were just all around just a better team in game two. Game one's performance, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter, going into the two overtimes. I mean, Wemby is a force and a massive weapon. He can beat you anywhere. Down low as a 7-footer, up on the perimeter as a 7-footer. He is so dangerous, man. And it's going to be a tough matchup in a 7 game series, especially now that San Antonio took back home court
Yeah,
they stole it from
yeah.
OKC. Like this is going to be a pretty long series. And the only reason why it's going to be a long series is because, like I said, OKC has some players too. SGA obviously.
Congratulations to his MVP.
The bench.
Mm.
I kind of feel bad for Jalen Williams though. He gets hurt again with the
Yeah,
hamstring, the same hamstring that has
yeah.
been killing him all playoffs, all season really.
On
Um,
and off.
yeah.
Yeah, on and off all year.
So, and that's really the only thing about these two teams. They're the strongest teams in the NBA, but they're banged up, and that could be a major factor in the finals.
Whoever they may face, because we're not jinxing anything here.
Right.
You
I don't want
know,
to get ahead of myself.
whether it's the Thunder or whether it's the Spurs, I know this is a kind of a rough statement, but whichever team is there is the right team. Because I don't think one is,
Yes.
I mean, yes, in 7 games, we're going to know one is better than the other. I put these two teams, if you could split the ones and just
Mhm.
call them point fives,
Yeah.
they're not to take away from my boys, but come on. You have to, as an analyst and as a lover of basketball, you have to love what's going on in this other finals conference. It's not a laydown here or anything.
Bro, they are so evenly matched. It's not even funny.
Right.
Like you're talking about a 2 game difference. That's it
Exactly.
in regular season, obviously.
Right.
Playoffs, we know who has been the more dominant team. It's OKC. But
Hmm.
like, you know, we're witnessing the championship right here.
I,
I hate to
you know,
say it because of course I want the Knicks to win the
I
championship.
was gonna say it, and I was holding back, but
You know,
he's right.
we're watching the championship series right here. Like,
And everybody, I mean, it's it's hard to even single. Yes, we're single out Wemby because look at what the guy's done. I mean, come on, but that whole Spurs team is a good
mm,
unit. They revolve around everybody well. They work well. The passing is beautiful. But then you got OKC. You got great defense and rebounding, experience and youth. And obviously, again, SGA, the best. I'm going to come out and say it, the best player in basketball,
yeah.
in my opinion. And that is rough. I'm wearing Jalen. I love Jalen. If I had to do it, I would say, in all fairness, Silver should have just said we're flipping a coin. Heads, it's Bronson. Tails, it's SGA. But that's not how it's done. We know that. Whatever. Brunson doesn't need to know he was voted. He knows what he is in New York. He knows what he is to New York. But that doesn't mean SGA doesn't deserve his congratulations. So that's the type of fans Dan and I are. We recognize greatness where greatness is shown. That's all.
Yeah. And you give all the credit, obviously, to Mitch Johnson, who, you know, has had a successful transition to, being the head coach of this basketball team. He worked under Popovich for such a long time,
Yes.
learned his ways, and has essentially continued even though he's his own coach and he has his own philosophy under that Popovich coaching tree, you can tell this is the San Antonio Spurs' identity. The Obviously the big star player in Wemby, but then of course the all-around team effort that you see. And that's how you really know that Popovich, and who's still with the Spurs, his mark is still there somehow,
Yes.
some way.
Yeah. So the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs will face off. We'll tip off tonight at 8:30 on NBC or Peacock
Yeah.
or in whatever it is down there in Texas. That's for us New Yorkers up here.
Yeah,
The Knicks,
we're gonna say Channel 4 because
yeah, it's you figure you go anywhere,
yeah.
2, 4, 5, 7 are
Yeah.
pretty much
Now,
standard.
luckily for me, like every place that I've been to, NBC, where I lived in the United States, NBC's been on Channel 4. So
Okay, so
it's been easy. Channel 4 is NBC. Channel 7 is ABC. I've been very fortunate for that, you know?
as they will come home to San Antonio tonight, the Knicks will face. I almost did it again. The Knicks will tip off against the Cavs tomorrow night in a 2-0 lead in Cleveland. Again, Dan and I would understand any time that that Cleveland crowd can get to a team. The Knicks have to play through that. It's not easy, but it can be done as the Knicks have proven it and shown it. But I would not be surprised to drop one of the first next two games. It would not, doesn't mean anything's over. Anybody who says, oh, the Knicks lose a game, it's a shut up. No, look, they go through and they knock this out straight. I'll be elated. Okay? I'll bet you anything. Nobody has that on their scorecard in big money. Okay? Nobody has that on their bingo card and gonna predicted to win it. It would be amazing to happen. Would the rest be helpful? Sure. I don't want anybody taking this series for granted. Mind you, this should be a couple of other teams right now we should be facing. I didn't think Cleveland was going to be here,
No.
but they are. The Knicks have played through. Stay true, stay orange and blue, and that worked for two ways with me. Come on, Dan, smile. You know that works. Now, that is going to wrap it up here for this two-game Eastern Conference Finals recap here on the Sports Insanity Network, the six man up. Dan and I will be back Tuesday because that'll be a perfect day for us to return. Why not? Tuesday at probably 1 p.m. for our coverage of the next two games. And maybe we'll be dancing with party hats or and whatnot.
You never
Maybe
know,
we'll
man. Like, let's see.
a little bit of happy tears. You never know. Maybe we'll have a surprise guest. Maybe Jalen Brunson's going to come on in. You know the
Fun.
name. You see us. We know you're watching. You'll come on in and just join us. That should get us going. Please follow us on the socials. Danny Boy.
Insanity Real, Facebook, X, sportsinsanitynetwork.com, YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the like button on all our videos, and hit that bell for notifications. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for always joining us. Thanks, of course, to Dugout of Millwood sponsoring all podcasts. And then we'll see you soon. Again, we want the Knicks to be in the finals by the time we talk to you next. Realistically, it's not going to happen, but whatever. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
Realistically, it's not impossible. It's improbable.
I'll be shocked.
So will I. I'll be happy.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm breaking the McAllen if that happens. That's a McAllen breaker. From Mark Oldop, Guy Halpern, Danny, Vice President, Dan Ryans. Want to thank you for joining us. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Peace and love, everybody.